I remember you mentioned both Sam Abel and
Yeah.
Robert Frank and how much they've influenced you as a photographer. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit about what you think they do so well and how maybe you and then other people as well could be inspired by their work.
Yeah. Um, so I think Robert Frank is an interesting one for me because he moved to Nova Scotia, which I think is what I said before. And so,
Yeah.
and Robert Frank's work, his book, The Americans, I mean, there's so many times where it's referenced as the most important photo book in the 20th century that it changed kind of the course of photography. Um, I feel like I love his work, but I don't know if it's inspired me, if that makes sense. I feel
Okay.
there's other people's I yeah, I love his work and what he did, and I also his most recent book in Nova Scotia is so beautiful. But it's interesting to have that thought where you can find someone's work beautiful, and love it, but not have been as inspired by it. So, and also I think the reason why I'm saying this is because I treat inspiration instead of I treat inspiration in a very analytical way. So instead of it being me seeing something beautiful and thinking, I love that. I guess what I could say is Robert Frank's work makes me want to shoot. Sam Abel's work makes me want to shoot in a certain way. And so the thing about Sam Abel's work is that he's so good compositioning and so good using light that I get quite analytical when I look at it as to how he's composed, how he's used light, and then I almost like take notes on that and then weave that into my photography. And so I feel like that's almost the two different ways that you can use inspiration. There's one that makes you want to go out and like create, and one that actually makes you want to work in a certain way. Um, and so throughout there's so many different photographers that I look at, and I feel like they probably kind of like split into those two groups of, and then there's also kind of artists and like even certain poetry. Like I feel like poetry tells stories in ways where it simplifies it down so much that it, like if you take a haiku or something like that, it's so simple, but it tells such a big story that it's a good way to then think in a photo, like how you can take everything out and make it really simple, but tell a story. So I feel like that's a like almost, yeah, a different way to be inspired.